Hey, Joshua, Courtney, Ty.
How you doing, Professor?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good, good.
Hello.
Hey, I'm ready to learn something about branding. You know, this subject has changed. It's changing so quickly. You know, I had advertising back in graduate school, and you know, we talked about brands in a very concrete way. But brands mean so many things now. You know, this was before social media. We didn't have a lot of things. People were able to do personal branding at a very high level, and so it's very different. So I send a message to the class about the Zoom branding, because I was talking to Courtney Larverdane, and she was kind of surprised that she didn't see the faces. And so I sent a message saying that everybody should have at least a picture. If you don't have anything else, if you don't have your virtual feed going, you should have at least a nice headshot or a nice photo of yourself. That way that when we have guest speakers, and we might have another one soon, they won't, when you ask the question, they won't be looking at a black box with a name. And they'll see your face, they'll see your expressions, your smile, your gestures. It makes a difference. So I'm trying to get my Zoom game up, because, you know, I have the virtual background going on, but if you watch the news and you see different interviews being done, you see how people are kind of setting up their background, and they're advertising their products and their books and all the things that are important to them. Their family members, they got pictures back there and plants, and it's a whole different way of branding now on Zoom. And you have this platform, this background to advertise whatever it is that you want to advertise. You know, we're not quite there yet in terms of using this platform, but it's getting there. You see people kind of doing things on Zoom, and they have all these virtual backgrounds, and some of them are amazing. You got some amazing backgrounds, and yeah, certainly we're going to be moving to another level as far as using online platforms, and so we should make the most of it. So we're in I guess a very different time than when we last met, because we have change in office, change in the White House. So we'll have to see what that means. I think it's very positive, and I posted something on my Facebook page about Kamala Harris, and I might just share it. I mean, there are a lot of articles out there now about Kamala Harris and her Howard connection, but I'll just share this with you real quick. If I can, I got so many windows up, just trying to, but I'll just show you this before we get started. So there was this article where Kamala Harris was talking about the HBCU experience. And again, we're talking about branding again, you know, because she gives a speech and she shouts out her sorority, the Divine Nine, and HBCUs. That is a huge platform for our organizations. You know, all of the, not just Howard, but FAMU, Spelman or Spellhouse, CAU, Oakwood College, all of them. You know, we now have somebody who's going to advocate for HBCUs, and that's a game changer for us. So we really have to take advantage of this opportunity that we have now with respect to Kamala Harris being the vice president. And they have a video here if you want to take you know, if you want to Google this and check it out. It's short, but it just lets you know that we're in a different time, and we just have to be ready to take advantage of the fact that we have an HBCU graduate in the White House and leverage that. And we need to tell our story too. HBCUs, we don't do a good job of telling our value. Now I do it when I'm online. I always tell my friends have children who are of college age. And, you know, I kind of nudge them just like I did on this post that, hey, we offer a great value and you all should consider sending your child to an HBCU. Any one, I don't care which one it is, send them to an HBCU because we have a brand. Now, obviously, FAMU has a big brand. We have a big HBCU brand. So we have, you know, a good, we already have a good platform, but we need to, of course, make sure that we let people know what we're about at FAMU. And, you know, now people will listen. Kamala Harris is going to be shouting out HBCUs. They're going to listen and say, oh, well, maybe I need to consider that. Maybe my daughter or my son can be vice president or president. If they go to an HBCU, they don't have to go Ivy League. They can go to an HBCU. So that's, to me, that's a game changer. You know, we'll have to see what happens in terms of the office, and because they have a lot of cleaning up to do. They have a lot of cleaning. I don't care what your political affiliation is, but there was a lot of damage done in the last 4 years. A lot of damage, especially internationally. So we'll have to see what they do when they get in there and, you know, kind of see what that means for us as institutions. What do you all think about it? We got a couple of minutes before we start. Have you all thought about the impact of Kamala Harris in the White House as an HBCU grad?
I thought about like we possibly getting more funding.
Yeah, possibly. But we have a voice. I mean, we have a voice in the White House. That's the main thing.
She's going to make a change for sure.
Yeah. We had Omarosa for a while. You know, Omarosa Manigault she was on the staff, White House staff. She was promoting HBCUs, but then she ended up getting fired, I guess. I guess she was one of the ones that got fired, but yeah, but now we have a vice president, so it may yield dividends for us in the long run. At least the HBCU label is out there and people can't say they don't know what it is. Everybody knows what it is now. Everybody says HBCU, because if you said that before, they're like, well, HBCU, what is that? I didn't know. People from abroad, they'll say, I didn't know you all had Black colleges in America. And explain to me about that, because it doesn't make sense. Why do you all have Black colleges? And you got to go into that whole thing. But, you know, now we have a brand recognition, you know, for our 100+ universities across the country. Anybody else have a comment before we get started? All right. I need to go back into Canvas. Okay, that's global business, marketing. Okay, so I guess I should say good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, so we're going to get started in a minute. I have to get some of these windows out of the way. I got a lot of windows. Actually, I have a lot of windows for the articles because they're all queued up across the top here. I just wanted to make a comment. I had posted a message on Canvas about Zoom and branding. So I want you all to keep in mind that you have a platform in Zoom because obviously we're looking at you or you have a video feed. Now I was talking to Courtney Larverdane, and you know, she's big into social media, this and that, and you know, you should be all in it. And you know, we just kind of chuckled because a lot of the students are not taking advantage of the platform. And you see a lot of black boxes with names. And when you're in these environments, you have to take advantage of this platform because, of course, if I'm on a Zoom call, like I was on a Zoom call last night I'm part of an organization, and I had this background on for FAMU. And they're probably looking, well, what's that, Florida A&M? And maybe they didn't know about FAMU before, but now they do because I have the background. So you should really look into establishing a presence on Zoom with a nice brand. Get your nice virtual background. If it's virtual or if it's, you know, in your room or in your office, you know, do some nice stuff in the background with some plants. And you see these folks on TV now, they have all their books they've written. They have their family pictures. They've got plants. They got all these things going on. And it's, you know, it's a good look. A lot of them have, you can tell they put some work into it. And I'm going to look at what I can do to get my Zoom game up because it is certainly a platform. And we have this easel in back of us where we can put things, we can, you know, put messages and put products. And so we need to think about using it. And as a minimum, you should have a picture on your, when you're not on a live feed and you go away, let's say you have to do a bathroom break, there's something there. There's a nice picture there that people can see, because it makes a difference when you talk to a Zoom audience and then you got all these black boxes and it's like, okay, they're not really there. I mean, you don't look at, because there's no image there, so you don't really see them and nobody's going to remember you. So you want to make sure going forward that you think about getting a nice headshot or, you know, maybe belt high shot so that you can have a presence, a nice presence on Zoom. So that's all I'll say about that. Time permitting, I would like to meet with the team leaders. I know I have 4 that I have in the group. I've established a team leader group, and I would like to, time permitting, to meet with those individuals. And I'll just mention the, you know, the names. Let's see, hold on. And if you have not had if you have not chosen a team leader, then you will need to do that. So Barnwell, Braggs, Connolly, and Meadows, I will need to see you afterwards, time permitting. If we don't have time, then I'll have to set up a meeting when all of us can get together. And I have a little assignment. It's not a major assignment, but it kind of will get you going because I'll ask you to discuss products that you're thinking about to mitigate the coronavirus, which is actually spiking again. So you know, this is real stuff. We can certainly make our own contributions. And any other team leaders that will would like to join us, you can do so after we're done with our articles. Okay, so we're going to get started with our branding segment, something that I look forward to. I like branding, I like consumer behavior. These are crucial topics, particularly as you are young professionals. You're going to be going out there and you're branding yourself right now with your resume and, you know, all the other things that you do. These are branding opportunities. So you want to make sure that you, again, take advantage of this process that you're going through and building your brand. Look at your self-branding and execute it. And that is will be to your benefit. Okay, so let me share the screen and we will get started.
Are we gonna go in order? Or are we gonna pick who goes first?
We're going to go in order, and typically that's alphabetical. Sound like you wanted to volunteer to go.
Yeah, I did, but it's okay.
Okay, that I have to get this window. I got a window that's okay. All right, can everybody see that first one? And see, journal day, branding. Okay, so the first one we have is Miss Howard. Miss Howard, I don't have your, do you have your video link?
Yes, it's in the comment. It's like a file attached to the comment.
Okay. Do you mind, can you put that in the chat? If you can put that in the chat, that would be helpful because
Okay.
I won't have time to go back over there. And let's see, participants. And then we'll be ready to roll. Mr. Nguyen, you have 2 videos, so you'll have to let me know how to work that because there might be a certain time where you want to cut in the second video. Is that how it works? Ty? Okay, we'll get to him later. Let's start. So you all can't see this article, Brand Evolution?
We can see it.
Okay. I do have to make sure of something real quick. Okay, so here we go with our first presentation, Brand Evolution.
Greetings. I am Tiani Howard, a 4th-year public relations student hailing from Hollywood, Florida, and I'm here to talk about my marketing journal on branding. The article I've chosen is called Brand Evolution, How to Develop a Non-Offensive Brand. And it is by Darpan Manjul, founder and CEO of the world's #1 brand naming platform, squadhelp.com. In today's progressive society, it is important that companies are not being stereotypical or racially insensitive. Companies like Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben's, and the Washington Redskins have been under heavy criticism for their logos and racist backgrounds. The article gave many helpful tips on how to make sure companies have non-offensive brands and can navigate through today's climate of fighting racial injustices and being diverse. Having the resources to research what is offensive and staying aware of what would be considered offensive is very helpful when dealing with a diverse community.
Professor, your screen isn't showing the video. It's still showing the journal day brands and stuff.
You're extremely
It's
diverse.
not showing the video?
That you know how to maneuver without being offensive.
No, it's showing your Canvas screen.
Tip.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. All right. Can you all see Tiani?
Yeah, it's showing now.
Okay.
Yes. Greetings. I am Tiani Howard, a fourth-year public relations student hailing from Hollywood, Florida, and I'm here to talk about my marketing journal on branding. The article I've chosen is called Brand Evolution: How to Develop a Non-Offensive Brand. And it is by Darpan Manjul, founder and CEO of the world's #1 brand naming platform, squadhelp.com. In today's progressive society, it is important that companies are not being stereotypical or racially insensitive. Companies like Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben's, and the Washington Redskins have been under heavy criticism for their
Can't hear it
logos
anymore.
and racist
You what?
backgrounds.
I don't know if you know. Oh, I can hear you now.
The article gave many helpful tips on how to make sure companies have non-offensive brands and can navigate through today's climate of fighting racial injustices and being diverse. Having the resources to research what is offensive and staying aware of what would be considered offensive is very helpful when dealing with a diverse community. It shows that you're inclusive, that you have solidarity with different communities, and that you are extremely diverse, and that you know how to maneuver without being offensive to any communities. Another helpful tip is including the audience. Audience testing is very vital to branding and marketing. It helps check any unconscious biases that may exist, and testing in large groups of potential consumers creates a large pool of data to draw from when adjusting to a more diverse crowd. And creating a brand rooted in substance is another tip that the article gave, and making sure that the company stands for something important, that the values, mission statement, and vision are very genuine and authentic, that they all align with being diverse to all people and not being offensive. For example, Rihanna, she has currently several brands, and two very popular ones are Fenty Beauty and Savage X Fenty. And the fundamental component of her branding is that she is very diverse, from all shades of women and all body types and all genders and all races and all ethnicities and religions. She caters to all of those things, and it's created credibility to her and brand loyalty to her and her consumers and fans. So because they know that she is going to adhere to being diverse. An example that I have of a racially insensitive company brand is from the hit TV series Insecure, where the main character works at a nonprofit organization in LA that services brown and black children. And they are currently having a meeting discussing the problem with the logo.
All right, we got y'all logo. You know, we had to call it out this season.
We did try to talk about what the landscape of the world feels like right now.
I think America is kind of hyper aware, and society is hyper aware of just like how we view things, and it just felt appropriate for the We Got Y'all logo to come under like a new scrutiny of just like in the wake of like the woke We Got Y'all staff, which is like my personal nightmare of like these white people all of a sudden being like, oh my God, this is racist, or oh, this is problematic.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting too is that moment for Joanne, right, as a character, as a white woman who probably started this organization in the late 70s, early 80s, who sort of, like from her mind, had very good intentions behind why she started that, but now sort of seeing it through a new lens of her, like, I can't just keep doing kind of what I did earlier. Like, even if it is with the best intention, I have to sort of change with it too. And we're sort of watching that be hard.
It's always important to modify your brand to adapt to whatever social climates may arise. Doing so can prove to make a company last through the ages, and it could be very successful with different types of diverse crowds and consumers. Thank you.
Okay, any comments? Probably need to move on. Thank you for that. That was informative. There were some things in that I wasn't aware of, but thank you for that. I enjoyed that. Okay, this is our next personal branding, concepts and constructs of personal branding. I want to make sure that I'm got the okay.
That's right. The branding article.
What'd you say? You're breaking up.
No, that's right. The YouTube and the article, that's the one from mine.
Okay, yeah. All right, I got you. I have them all lined up across the screen. Okay, here we go.
Good afternoon. I am Corey Jones, a fourth-year supply chain student from Phoenix, Arizona, and our journal day today is on branding. So I will be talking to you about branding in an article that I found on branding. So the article that I found was written by someone named Anna Zerkata, and the name of the article is "Concepts and Constructs for Personal Branding: An Exploratory Literature Review," and she just basically dives into personal branding and branding alone and some of the importance of it and some of kind of the history of it. So a kind of summary of the article was she explained to us that a while ago that self-branding wasn't seen as such an important aspect in business all the time. You know, it's kind of put on the back burners compared to your degree or maybe who you know or things like that. Even though all those things kind of go into your self-branding, it still wasn't seen as the most important part. The most important part wasn't how you connected and how you presented yourself. It was more of what was on the paper. So, but eventually Anna realized that your self-branding was important to your success in the business or important to your articulation into other positions, into higher roles. And that's kind of what got her to write this article. So what is personal branding? Personal branding is basically how you present yourself to others you plan to work for in the future, and basically anybody. It's what goes into who makes you as a person, your positive features that will be put on the forefront when you're going to do things. Like if I have certifications, I'm a supply chain student, certain things, like that's part of my personal branding. I got that to make myself look more attractive to companies, and so I can say when I go in there, I have these certifications. Part of me branding myself as a hardworking person who cares about what they do. So the thing about your personal brand is that it's not something that's easy to perfect. Your personal brand may be different from job to job. They may need different things. So you come and you show different things that they would want in someone that works in the position that you plan to fulfill. It's about presenting yourself in the best light to reach your possible next goal. Yeah, and it's not something that's easy to perfect. It takes a long time to get your personal brand down for what you're doing and how you want to accomplish that. And it's really a proactive response to what happens from previous jobs with people you know, and you continue to build upon your personal brand by people's reactions and how you're treated from the things that you do and your feedback. And in your personal brand, you should identify, and Anna told us, you should identify the needs and the wants of where you're going, of your possible employer. You should identify their needs and wants so that you can put those in the forefront, and your brand can be very strong. Your personal brand can look very good and nice to them because they see all of the positive things that they're looking for in somebody. And another thing that's very important about personal branding and getting jobs and things like that is your personal brand is not just a sheet of paper. It's not just your degree or one connection or anything. Your personal brand is everything that goes into making you a businesswoman or whatever your major may be to that person. Personal brands across everything. It's about your image to people. So it's very important that you have a personal brand in every aspect of your life and everything you do, that you hold a strong personal brand so that people see the strong and good side of you and what you do. Overall, with this article, I really enjoyed it. She had good points, and it helped me for my personal brand and some things that I may put into it. And it really did teach me some of the things about like how I was looked at in the past. So it was a very enjoyable article to read. And I did agree with her with most of the things that she said. And I appreciate your time, and thank you guys. Have a nice afternoon.
Sorry it was so low. I didn't realize that it was that low when I looked on YouTube the other day. It's played regular to me, but sorry if it was really low.
That's okay. Anybody want that was very good information. That was very good information about personal branding and so what we've been doing in our class with projects, self-branding projects. And I hope that you all will kind of tweak those over a period of time. And because it's everybody needs it, including those of us who are in our careers. I mean, we need to work on our personal brands constantly. And so, yeah, that was very good information. Okay, let's move on because we do have quite a number of them to get through. Okay, we're going to go back to the COVID topic and let's see what we have here.
Greetings. I am Rodney Jordan, a third-year accounting student from Orlando, Florida, and my topic for Journal Day 3 branding is about scalability. The article I read spoke about how scalability is playing an important role in businesses during the COVID age. Scalability is the ability to change and adapt processing and cost elements to best fit a situation. It is important for companies to try to maintain the same customer experience that customers had before COVID with how the brand is perceived now. The main department that has been lacking is in brand image. Now that nothing is in person and everything is via conference call, it is harder for companies to collect data on how the event went, how customers feel, and most important, finding ways to improve and expand. It is important to reflect on these events using data to see what events worked, what can be improved, and what important people attended and how to move forward. A real-world example would be how apartments are now doing virtual tours instead of in person. It is important for a potential buyer to still feel like they are getting a pleasant experience and want to move in and call this place home. This has also led to many conflicts because what people are experiencing in the tour is a little fabricated, and when they get there, the place isn't the same as they pictured. It is also important to view scalability from a physical standpoint. This is using the company brand, like the logo, and making it physically scalable to be used in any scenario. For example, like companies Coca-Cola, Nike, Chanel, and Disney have 4 different ways they can size their logo and be recognized anywhere. Scalability in branding is very important and plays a key role in keeping companies in the eyes of customers.
You're muted.
Dr. Shabazz, if you're speaking, you're muted, so we can't hear you.
All right. So does anybody have any questions for Rodney? Any comments? Actually didn't know about this, the logos, the four different ways to scale a logo. It would make sense. It would make sense. You got all these different platforms, but as virtual tours are definitely in vogue now. We were supposed to have our sister's memorial in a art gallery, but now we have to do it virtually. So we're still going to do a virtual tour of the art gallery, but it's going to be a lot different. Any comments? Any other comments? Okay, so we're going to go on to the next one, and this should also be a winner because we got green and orange and green. Here we go.
Greetings. I am Melina Murray, a second-year business administration student from Gretna, Florida. I read the article Branding versus Marketing, What's Best for Small Businesses, written by Jacob Marslow. In this article, he discusses the differences and correlations between branding and marketing. Although these terms can often be used interchangeably, there is a distinction between the two. Branding can be defined as a company's consistent expression of their values, vision, and their identity. Branding is essentially the core of the marketing strategy, whereas marketing relates to strategies that continually evolve along with the business and the realities of the marketplace. So again, branding is what companies use to keep their clients essentially coming back for more. And it's the foundation in which customer loyalty is built upon and includes attributes such as commitment, quality, community, convenience, and communication. Marketing is directly and specifically geared toward the target audience and are essentially the tactics that the company would use to capture this audience. These two terms, marketing and branding, aren't mutually exclusive and they often tend to overlap. So, for example, branding may be considered the strategy, whereas marketing is the tactical goals that's used to capture the audience. Branding is often referred to as the message, whereas marketing is the messenger. So, for example, if we were to consider a popular brand such as Apple, the Apple brand is one of the most successful of this generation. Although they have low storage devices sometimes and they're often expensive, they have a large group and population of people who tend to only buy Apple products. And this relates to their customer loyalty, their convenience, their community, and their commitment to quality because they have committed customers who are just dedicated to using their products. Whereas the marketing for this company relates to their strategies and their goals, such as being easy to use and positioning their products in places that are easy to essentially equip and obtain. Their value proposition. Everyone knows that Apple focuses on having products that are not only tech savvy and nice to look at, but also efficient. And Apple focuses on creating experiences and not just products, whereas other companies may focus on having a product that is able to serve the usage of their customer, where Apple aims to just create an experience so that the customer has a more holistic view and feel like they're getting more for their money. Another thing that Apple tends to do is stay relevant. They make sure that with each new feature, they attempt to include something. With each new product, they attempt to include something that's relevant and able to be different from what they had in previous years. And not just in regards to their specifications and the inside of their products, but also on the outside. So I chose to read the article, Branding versus Marketing, What's Best for Small Businesses, because I'm an aspiring entrepreneur. And I know that branding and marketing is a vital factor in achieving success. Not only is it important to have a good operational structure or make sure that you know your financial structure, but marketing and branding in this modern society is so important. You must have, all companies must have some sort of presence in various sectors just so that they can be successful and competitive in their industries. So as a young professional, I'm coming to learn that in order to have a well-rounded establishment, you must give marketing and branding a lot of focus so that you know that no matter what happens with your business, you always have some sort of frontline approach to the consumers that you're aiming to reach. Thank you.
Any questions for Alina? Okay, we're going to go to the next one. Okay, this is a popular topic. So let's see what we have about branding in the marijuana industry.
Hi, my name is Sahai Murray, and I am a fourth year music industry student from Queens, New York, by way of Orlando, Florida. The topic for Journal Day today is branding, and the article that I chose is White Label Branding Might Be Marijuana Industry's Next Hot Trend. It was written by Margaret Jackson, published in the Marijuana Business Daily on November 8, 2020. Some background on the cannabis industry. The market is still in its very infant stages. The first country to legalize marijuana was Uruguay in 2013, then Canada in 2018, and currently the US has over 29 states where marijuana is legal. In these 7 short years, the market value for this industry has grown exponentially. In 2019, it was valued at 17.7 billion, and it is projected to reach 73 billion by 2027. The cannabis industry is a very tricky industry to navigate. There are a lot of little nuances that make it very difficult to be successful in this industry. In this article, we look at 4 different companies and how they use white label branding to navigate through the industry and help grow their business. What is white label branding? White label branding is when a product is produced by one company but is packaged and branded as to appear if another company made it. The example that is used in the article is Whole Foods and their 365 brand. They don't produce any of the stuff that is branded 365. They contract companies to make it, and they make a deal and they brand it as if it's their own. Same thing with Walmart and Great Value and Costco and Kirkland's Signature. I thought that was very interesting because I didn't actually know that. I thought that Walmart made all of these things. The first company that the article focuses in on is Ainana Manufacturing. Ainana Manufacturing is a company that provides white label services for other companies in the cannabis industry. They secured their California license to sell marijuana within the state, so they've established themselves as reputable. This is revolutionary because it has potential to create an entire distribution market within the cannabis industry by allowing opportunities for other companies to pop up just like Ainana Manufacturing. Another company that the article focuses on, one such company is White Label. White Label is similar to Ainana Manufacturing because they also provide white label services. However, they decided to employ a different marketing model. White Label noticed that their demand was increasing, so they decided to market to emerging brands, expanding brands, and dispensary brands to help combat their growing demand. Another nuance that takes place in the cannabis industry is licensing. In order to produce and sell marijuana, you have to obtain licensing, but the process to obtain licensing is very complicated and expensive. In California, there are 12 different licenses alone. One such company, Old Pal, produces the packaging for marijuana products and then promotes its brand through marijuana retailers. Because they don't handle marijuana directly, they don't have to obtain any licensing. I think this is an interesting strategy because it allows for the market potential to widen even more, because if more companies enter the market at that using that strategy where they avoid obtaining a license, it makes it easier for anybody to be successful in the cannabis industry. The last company that the article focuses in on is Boulder. Boulder is a Colorado-based edibles company. While they make their own edibles in-house, they outsource for the cultivation and the extraction of the marijuana. This allows them to focus solely on the edibles process and perfect it, and it also saves them. It's more cost effective. White label branding is also used in the cannabis industry to build brand and consumer loyalty within customers, especially in a volatile industry like marijuana. Reputation is everything.
Any questions? That's a very hot topic. I'll just say this: years ago, when this thing was taken off, a lot of attention was on the Netherlands because they had all of these different brands. And I didn't realize they were doing so many things with marijuana. I mean, there were all of these, and I'm talking years ago, there were all these different types of products that I had no idea. They had ice cream, candy bars, granola, chocolate, everything, you know, in this store. And now it's just really taken off. And I see a lot of basketball players are getting involved in that industry. I see it because I'm an NBA fan, and I see a lot of former players are now getting involved. And, you know, I think there's a different perception now. It's changing, you know, because we used to think it was negative, but now people are looking at it very differently. But yeah, we actually have I think we have an initiative here to look at the cannabis industry. I forget what the group is called, but it's on campus, and they do these studies and analysis of the industry. All right, let's keep going. And we're going to cue this. Is this, it looks similar design. I thought I had the same video, but it's different. All right.
Greetings, I am Tywin, a third-year business administration student from Tallahassee, Florida. And our journal day today is about branding or having a brand. But what is a brand? A brand is a check swooshy thing, and you know it's Nike. Or you drive down the road and you see the golden arches, the golden M, and you know it's McDonald's. Or you see a red sign with the C, the cursive C, and looks like a chicken, you know that's Chick-fil-A. But what makes a brand unique, or why is it important? Well, it's important because for a company, you need a brand or slogan or something like that to be unique, and for customers or potential customers to come to you and know what your company is without even guessing what it is. So when people go to Walmart, for example, they go there for everyday great prices, and usually the customer service isn't top notch. But when you go to a place like Publix or Kroger, their prices are a little bit higher, sometimes a lot higher than Walmart. But what makes them so successful? They're successful because their customer service. You go there for the experience. Now, sometimes you do just go to Walmart because it's closer, there's more plentiful, you can buy clothes and tools and this and that, but sometimes you go to the ones where it makes you feel good. People go to Chick-fil-A for my pleasure. Yeah. People go to McDonald's for a cheap bite to eat. But internally, what does a brand do for the company? Well, it creates an enjoyable work experience for the people that are working there. A good brand, a happy brand, a positive brand will bring people that want to work for the company. But on the other hand, if you have a bad brand that is always in trouble or something like that, then the company would more than likely have customers that are subpar, or not customers, employees that are subpar. So that's why a brand is important. It's important because without a brand, what are you? You're just a product.
Professor, you're on mute.
So Ty, you didn't need the other video. You put two videos in your paper. You didn't need the other one played, or was that played in your video? Was that the one played in the video? Is he there? Okay, he's not there. Okay, we'll keep going. All right. Got the orange and green going on. That's what we need.
I am Courtney Norris, a business administration student from Jacksonville, Florida. And today we'll be discussing branding, specifically how to establish a successful and effective brand for a small business. So if you have a small business or one day want to open a business, this is the video to pay attention to. So sit up and take notes. And without further ado, let's get into it. The article I chose was Sonia Gregory's 11 Steps for a Successful Brand Building Process. And initially, I was thinking 11 steps, that seems a bit much. But after reading the article, I fell in love with it. These 11 steps are the perfect steps to build a successful brand. But before we get into those 11 steps, let's talk about what a brand is. Your brand is the customer's overall perception of your business. Your brand is your reputation. Or as Jeff Bezos says, your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. In the article, Gregory emphasizes how important it is to establish a brand and not just a business, because a loved and recognizable brand is one of a company's most valuable assets. She cites a survey that reveals that 59% of consumers rather buy new products from a brand they trust and love. Gregory says branding can be broken up into 3 different parts: your brand strategy, brand identity, and brand marketing. Your brand strategy is basically your blueprint, where you map out your brand, you do competitor research, you discover your brand and your brand's voice. Your brand identity is your logo. What colors do you want to associate with your brand, your different packaging and branded items. Then your brand marketing is how are you conveying your brand, whether it's through email marketing, social media, or your website. As a small business owner, it's very important to establish a successful brand, because after all, you'll be entering markets with well-established brands who already have a loyal consumer base. So it's very important that you're able to stand out and establish your own loyal consumer base so that you're able to compete with these brands. So without further ado, let's get into the 11 steps that you can use to establish a successful brand. 1. Discover the purpose behind your brand. 2. Research competitor brands within your industry. 3. Determine your brand's target audience. 4. Establish a mission statement. 5. Outline key qualities of your brand. 6. Establish your brand voice. 7. Let your brand personality shine. 8. Build a brand story and messaging. 9. Create a logo and tagline. 10. Integrate your brand into every aspect of your business. And 11. Stay true to your brand. And last, my favorite, which is a bonus, be your brand's biggest advocate. As a small business owner myself, I know how important this is. Being your brand's biggest advocate, your brand's biggest supporter, your brand's biggest promoter makes a big difference. If you don't believe, your consumers won't believe.
Okay, any questions? No questions for Ms. Norris? Okay. I thought that was very, very good, the 11 steps. I look forward to reading that article. Okay, here we go. Amazon. Let's see what they're doing these days.
Good morning. I am Janelle Palmer, a third-year public relations student from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Today, we'll be discussing Amazon's Holiday Dash and, more importantly, how they brand themselves. A company brands themselves in order to increase the value of their company. Other things that branding can contribute to is to provide employees with direction and motivation. Another is to help maintain your current customers, and it also makes acquiring new customers much easier. A brand can be a name, a term, a design, symbol, or feature about one company that separates them from other sellers. For example, every time you see a half-eaten apple, your mind probably thinks of Apple first. Even rappers brand themselves. Kodak Black has many taglines that set him apart from other rappers. One of them has even turned into a clothing company called Sniper Gang Apparel. There are already so many things about Amazon that people know them for and separate them for. Some of these things are, they have defined themselves as the world's largest online marketplace. Another is that they put a lot of work into being technological innovative. Another good thing about Amazon that separates them is that with Amazon Prime membership, members are given the access to great deals and 2-day free shipping. Something new upcoming about Amazon is they're looking into implementing brick and mortar stores that will have the capability of same-day delivery via drones. All of these things are what contributes to Amazon having such a successful turnout in their production through branding themselves as the ones who provide differently. In the Forbes article titled "The Best Amazon Black Friday Deals, Everything We Know So Far," we find out that Amazon has taken another step in their initiative to take over all these well-established companies such as Walmart, Target, and Best Buy. Amazon's plan is to provide deals way before Black Friday even begins. They're going to call it Holiday Dash, and it will last from now up to November 17th, in which they will then switch into their Black Friday deals and Cyber Monday deals. So far, some decent deals among the Holiday Dash are discounts hovering around 15 to 30% off for name brand items and up to 50% for select products. Being an Amazon Prime member is not necessary to shop these Amazon Black Friday deals, but in the past, Amazon has sometimes offered early access to certain deals for Prime members. What they have done by doing this is they've begun their race early and have eliminated their competition from this year's Black Friday activities. By providing a service that rival companies are not able to, they have branded themselves in another way as being different from other companies around them. Something interesting is that Amazon has a Prime Day where they also give out amazing deals for their members. The Amazon's Prime Day deal is just as good as their Black Friday deals. This means that they're allowing their members to have not one, but 2 Black Fridays a year instead. Also, with the pandemic and the friction of COVID-19, it will be known to be the safest route for Black Friday activities this year. Even without COVID-19, people would probably rather shop from their homes without the havoc of crazy Black Friday shoppers. Amazon has certainly done something different this year that will change the way or set a tone for the way that we do Black Friday from now on. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I hope all of you have an amazing rest of your day.
Okay, any questions for Janelle? I learned a lot there. I'm an Amazon Prime member, and I've never had anything delivered via drone, but I wonder how that works.
Professor, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Am I muted?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't see the mute here. Can you hear me now? Can you all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So we have one more. Were there any questions or comments for Janelle? Holiday Dash, two Black Fridays. Now the two Black Fridays, we know what the traditional, what's the other Black Friday? Is Janelle on the call?
Yes. They're gonna do a holiday dash, which is started now until November 17th. Normally Black Friday is on the 25th after Thanksgiving. So what they've done is basically opened their deals earlier. So if you were to think of going to Walmart or Best Buy for something, you'd probably get the same deal on Amazon by staying home and 2-day free shipping.
Okay. It's good to know. Yeah, I'm a Prime member, and you know, I order a lot. I order a lot online, but I've never had anything delivered via drone, and I would be interested to know how that works. So maybe one day I'll actually see it. Okay, no other comments? Okay, this will be our last one, I think. And if someone else, if I skipped over someone, then just let me know, and then we'll figure out how to queue it up. Now this one, I think this is Miss Pierce. Is she here? Because I think she had her video on private. Let me try to refresh.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Now, could you put your link in the chat box? Says it's on private. I can't play it.
Yes, I'm going to it right now.
Okay. Okay, it's still saying private. So if you could change the setting, there should be a setting in your YouTube that will make it public.
Okay, I'm looking for it right now.
Yeah. You actually have to go into your account and just hit there's an option.
Okay, let me see.
We have 20 minutes. I would just say this: we actually have alumni from that work at Amazon, and one of my former students is I guess he's pushing an HBCU initiative at Amazon, and he always contacts me and wants me to get involved, wants FAMU to get involved with Amazon initiatives, and so we're working on that now, and that will be something going forward that we can look to establishing a partnership, because we need to do more with these new age companies, not just Goldman Sachs and the TV stations, but kind of the new age media companies, the digital marketing companies, because that's where the growth is. And so Amazon is one of those companies that they're offering these opportunities for HBCU students. And that is something that I think will benefit us in the long run. Okay, let me check see, Miss Pierce, did you find it?
Yes, I did it. I did it. I think I'm gonna send it.
Okay, I got it. Don't worry.
Okay.
Greetings. I am Samaya Pierce, a third-year business administration student from Miami, Florida. And today I'm going over Journal Day branding. So what is branding? Branding is a name, term, design, or any other symbol that identifies one marketer's product from the next. Some people not only define branding as the logo, the campaign ad, the color, but it also associates with the product as a whole. The value of branding goes very far. Both buyers and sellers benefit from branding. Reasoning because buyers automatically purchase items with brands they trust. For example, if we decide to go to a local convenience store and we want to purchase a cola, we have a Great Value Cola and a Coca-Cola. Automatic, we're going to purchase that Coca-Cola because we know that brand of cola is going to be good. Because why? Is because the Coca-Cola brand has made a name for themselves and has provided value to individuals, and automatically people are going to pick the Coca-Cola over the Great Value Cola. So the article I picked to correspond with the branding topic today, it discusses 6 reasons why a strong brand is important for a small business. So within the article, it goes into discussion with this with this lady whose name is Ramona Jones, and she owns a daycare center and is giving her tips on how to build a stronger brand due to it being just a small business and just being a startup. So the first thing is branding improves recognition. All that means is the first thing somebody sees is your logo. That's the face of your brand. So I'm gonna go back to the Coca-Cola and the Great Value discussion. A person is going to pick the Coca-Cola over the Great Value just by the looks. So with small businesses, they should present themselves as a big business should. So they should have a poised, polished, eye-catching logo to consumers, to buyers so that they can attract more traffic to their brand or their company or their product, whatever they have. So 2, branding creates trust. Back to when I said individuals are going to go and purchase products that they trust because of the quality they provide. Like a person is going to buy a Coca-Cola over a Great Value because why? They know the Coca-Cola is going to quench their thirst more than what the Great Value Cola is going to do. 3, branding supports advertising. So, Coca-Cola has, Coca-Cola has shirts, t-shirts, like a clothing, just putting their brand out there, stickers, everything of that sort. So as a small brand, you should put your brand out there, put your logo out there, put your business out there so it can attract more individuals to it and build more traffic into what you have. 4, branding builds financial value. So I know Coca-Cola, brands like Nike, brands like just any type of brands is held to a high standard, so they're traded on the stock market. So 5, branding inspires employees. The reason why branding inspires employees, if your brand is big and people are talking about it, it's discussed in Forbes or it's discussed in entrepreneur.com or Yahoo Finance, people are automatically in the company will go hard because they have a standard to withhold, with the company being held to a high standard, with the company being featured in this, that, and the third. And it goes into 6, branding generates new customers. So the more you put your brand out there, the more people is going to find out about it. Like a Coca-Cola, I'm sure everybody heard of a Coca-Cola, but I'm sure if a tourist, somebody from a different country, see a Coca-Cola and they see the Great Value, they're going to choose that Coca-Cola just because the Coca-Cola being eye-catching, the Coca-Cola being appealing, and the Coca-Cola just attracts more than the, Great Value. Same thing with businesses. So So yeah, so that's all I have. Those are the those are the 6 ways to build a strong brand. So yeah, thank you. Greetings. I am Samaya.
Okay. Did I get everybody? Everybody go that should go today? I'm looking at the list. Looks like we got everybody. Okay, a couple of things before we break. That point about employees is very important. I think both Ty and Samaya made the point in their articles about working for a company and being, I guess, being into that brand and being proud of that brand, because it does help morale. If you really believe in something, you work for a company and you believe in that company's values and you believe in that company's quality, you will have you will be more motivated in order to make sure that that company is successful. So that's another important thing when you're dealing with human resource development and training and getting your employees motivated to do a great job for the company. That becomes more important for the company. And of course, you want to pass that value on to the customers as well. But I can't express enough that it's so important to be confident about the brand of the company that you're working for. Because if you're not, then you're not going to want to go to work the next day, the next morning, because you don't believe in it. And people can tell if you don't believe in the brand that you're trying to promote. It just is not going to be, you're not going to be successful. So I think that's a very good point in terms of employee, the relationship that employees have with the brands of the company that they work for. Any comments? Any comments on any of these? Any questions on any of these? I thought they were informative. I learned a couple of things about Uruguay and their cannabis industry. That name doesn't often come to mind when you think about cannabis, but that's new information. And then of course the white label and the branding, the licensing, those are all. And then the whole mascot question that has been going on for a long time with the Redskins and the Indians, and yeah, that's an ongoing debate about the logo and the brand of those sports teams. All right, any questions? Any questions about anything? Okay, so what I would like to do is I would like to meet with the team leaders briefly and talk to them about what's been going on. And if you have not reported to me a team leader, then maybe someone can be designated or volunteer for the time being until you actually decide on one, because I think it's important for us to make the best use of our time that we have now, because we don't have a whole lot of it left, and we want to make sure that we're on course. Okay, so if there are no questions, then I will just have the team leaders and everybody else, you're excused, and we have a video on Thursday, so we will not meet here. You'll be watching a self-guided video. And we have our exam is on the 17th. So just keep that in mind. It's a week from today. That's our next exam. But if there are no questions, then I will have everyone except for the team leaders. The ones I have are Barnwell, Braggs, Conley, and Meadows. And so everyone else, I will see you, well, virtually next week, but I'll be in touch, and make sure you check them for your messages. All right.
Hey, Professor.
Yeah, Josh, you got a question?
My mic's going in and out. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't know if you got my email last week about me stepping up to be the team leader, the group leader for my group. I don't know if you got the email.
I didn't see it. So you're here now.
Okay.
I pulled you over, so you'll be getting the messages.
Okay, cool.
That I send. Anybody else that I missed as a team leader?
Me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the.
Oh, go ahead. Question ain't my fault.
Ms. Norris?
Yes, I'm gonna be the team leader for marketing plan 7.
Okay, so I'll pull you over. Anybody else?
This is Poindexter. You can put me down for group 5.
Malik, okay. Let's see, where's Malik?
Professor, I'm still here. I'll go for group 3. Oh.
Okay.
3.
So I got you. Malik, I got. So we got one more. We had 8 groups, right? So we got one group that doesn't have a team leader. So I'll have to deal with that later. So anyway, I wanted to just touch base with you all. I don't know how many of you have had contact with all of your members, but you can kind of give me an update. We can just go around the room and you tell me what you've done so far, if anything, or if you've gotten in contact with all of your members. So Malik, did you have any contact with your team members?
Yeah, we do have a group chat. Everybody but one person has responded.
Okay, so offline, can you give me that person's name? I don't want that person revealed, but can you send me a Canvas message, and then I can try to see how I can lead them to you. I can tell them to reach out to you.
All right, thank you.
That would be great if you can do that.
Hey there, Dr. Shabazz. I volunteer as Group 6's team leader.
Okay. Now, have you all had a chance to do anything, Ty?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to put in the chat a file. Well, what I'll do is I'll send it to the team leader group so you all could have it there. And what it is I'll share with you, and I'll continue on with the team leaders in a minute, but I'm going to share this document that I want you all to work on. And it's only 3 questions. So this is, actually, this is the wrong one. Sorry. I clicked on the wrong file. It's this one. Share. So we have 5 minutes. This is going to be a kind of an assessment to get you going. And what you all are doing is you're creating a product that will help mitigate or lessen the spread and acceleration of the coronavirus. So all of us are living it. You probably have some ideas of some things that you think might help, whether it be something you use on your body, something you drink, something you eat, something you wear, something you put on your face, whatever it is, that you might have some very good ideas about how this is done. And so what is happening here is all you're going to do is you're going to describe what your product is. You're going to brainstorm and come up with some ideas, its characteristics and its value proposition. What does it do? What benefits does it offer? Then you're going to describe the segment that you're targeting, because different people are affected differently by the virus. Include the demographics. Is it going to be college students because we're going to be back on campus next semester? Is it going to be the elderly over 65? Is it going to be, teenagers? Who are you targeting? And then articulate a short sample ad campaign explaining the value of this product and the benefits you provide. So just those 3 questions. And the reason I'm doing this is just to get you started, because I know it's rough. I mean, you're trying to get people going. This will be a rallying point to get people started to thinking about these topics. And so what you'll do is you'll come together, you'll do these 3 questions, and that'll take you on a path to getting some, making some progress on the actual outline of the plan. I have sent the plan. Let's see, I can also, and I think everybody should have that. You all should have an outline of the plan, but I'm going to put all of this on the team leader group. And so you all will see files. And I don't know, do you all get those messages? Like for those of you who have done journals, I usually address the journalists go on that day, and I'll send a message to each of the journalists to say, okay, make sure you get your article in by 11:59. Are you all getting those? Because when I send them, go ahead. Do you all get those group messages?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, because, I was wondering because sometimes I'll send something, I don't hear anything, I don't get any response. So I just assumed that maybe they didn't get it, but that's good. Okay, so I'll post all of this, this form. And all you do is you're conceiving of your product, describe your product, its characteristics, what does it do, and what benefits does it provide? And describe your segment that you're going after, and a short ad campaign. And again, this is just for brainstorming to get your ideas flowing. So that way you're not just looking at each other, oh, what are we going to do? You'll have something written down, you can look at it, you can think about some ideas, and it'll move you a lot further along, and you won't be, you won't have a block. You won't have a thinker's block. Okay, who else? Ms. Braggs, how's you have any issues with your group? Have you contacted everybody, or everybody contact you?
So far, everybody in the group is in a group chat, and everyone has responded in the group, and we decided as a group that I'd be the team leader. So we've had full participation so far, so no issues.
Okay, good. Jana?
Everyone is in our group chat. I started it last week. There was one person that wasn't in there, but I did add her before class today, and we've kind of been brainstorming and just filling her in on those brainstorms.
So I'll ask this, if you can send me a Canvas message of who that person is that you haven't had contact with, then I'll check to make sure that there was no withdrawal or there's some other issue going on that they have informed me of, and that I can just let you know what the situation is on that. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, who else do we have? Meadows. Is Meadows on the call? Norris? Courtney?
Yes. There were 2 members who I haven't got in contact with.
Okay.
One member, he isn't in like our class group meet at all.
Okay.
So I'm not getting in contact with him.
So the same thing, if you could send me a Canvas message and let me know who that person is, and then I can give you their status of whether they're in the class or whether they have some issue that they're dealing with, and I can let you know one way or the other.
Yes, sir.
Professor?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm Felicia Wright, and I'm group number 3. And Samaya Pierce, she's in here too.
Right.
Me and her, we're kind of busy. Like, we've just been kind of busy lately. So is it fine if me and her like play off of each other, like as a group leader? Okay, thank you.
as long as you all have, and you're talking about having a co-relationship,
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine. That's up to you. As long as you can figure out how to do the collaboration and for all the other team leaders, you can manage your group the way that you see fit. But I want to just say this, that in this time, you want to make sure that you have some empathy, because everybody's going through some things, and you want to give people a chance to succeed. If they may miss a meeting or a date or miss a deadline, you want to be understanding, but you also want to keep them in the loop. You want to keep their confidence up so they just don't give up and get angry and just say, okay, I quit. And so, it's like you have a fist, but you have a velvet glove over it. And, there are times where you're going to need to say, okay, we need to get this done. This is the deadline. There's times where you have to, be more firm, but you also want to have that care because people are going through different things. And sometimes we don't know what they're going through. And so you just want to be cognizant of that. Joshua, anything? Your group?
We haven't really gotten started as far as we were just trying to get everybody. We just got our last group member in today. We've had communication with everybody though, so we'll be starting to get to work this week though for sure.
Okay, all right. So we're actually past time, and I'm sorry for keeping you over, but I wanted to get this going. Make sure you look out for the messages for our group, our team leader group. I'll be putting up files, including the file I just showed you, and then you can get started on that. And then I'll give you a date when that's due. We only have a month left, so it's, we need to start making some progress here. Are there any other questions before we close out? Okay, no other questions. Thanks for volunteering and being the team leader. And this is going to certainly, hopefully be a very good experience for you. And I will be in touch, and you all have a good day, rest of the day.
Thank you. You have a good one as well.
You too.
And Dr. Shabazz,
yes.
Did you have a chance to look at your availability either for this week or maybe even next week for us to meet?
Yeah,